Good morning. Living an inspired life leads to affluence, happiness, and success. Each one of us is unique, and each one of us was born with a gift, a talent that we are meant to express fully in our community or in our sphere of influence. Our job is to discover what resonates within our soul, to discover our own authenticity through hearing our inner voice, through self-awareness and self-discovery. Good morning. Living an inspired life leads to affluence, happiness, and success. Each one of us is unique. Each one of us is born with talents and gifts that we are meant to express in our community and in our sphere of influence. And one of the most important things that I discovered for myself was to honor my body, my mind, and my spirit, because that creates balance. And if I didn't do that, I found that everything in my world would be colored with a little anger, a little impatience. So it's a very fine balance of honoring yourself. So let's look at how we do that. The mind, noticing the thoughts in the mind. So many of us have such negative things that come through. When I first became a nurse, I remember setting up my medicines in the medicine room, and I had a thought come through. Oh boy, if anybody really knew who you were, they'd have never made you a nurse. And I really believe that. So our thoughts turn into beliefs, and then we experience that in our world. Plus, it takes a lot of energy to hold on to those negative beliefs. And anytime we discover, so it's like disciplining the mind. And notice the self-talk. It took me a long time to recognize that I felt I wasn't enough. And many people actually suffer from that. I'm not enough. And it's in the background. There's so much in the background of our brains. So the first real good step is notice how we talk to ourselves. And so too with us, we need to keep growing. Sometimes we get where we're really comfortable. Life is good. But we stop because we think, well, this is working. I'm happy, it's good. And we stay there. And actually, we're not growing. And then again, a frustration sets in. We are meant to keep going forward. And one of the ways is follow your interests. Give yourself permission to explore, to live a little bit. You know, it's like there's a scale I have that I use. Is it inspirational? Is it uplifting? Does it make you more loving? Happy? It's like exciting? Or does it make you feel contracted, less than fearful? Much as we fear change, our deepest satisfaction comes when we expose ourselves to new challenges and novel experiences. Things are never the way you think they are. You know, if there's something you're interested in, check it out, because it's never as it appears. So many times we prejudge things, and then when we actually participate, it's not at all what we thought it was. So what I learned was listening to when you have permission to do something or not. How many times opportunities come into our lives? A new job, a new change, and initially we get excited, but then something stops us. The fear sets in. We don't want to stretch that way. Personal power is about you approving of you. It's not dependent on other people and what they think. It's about what you think of your presence, of how you're interacting. Are your thoughts, words, and actions in sync? Personal power is about you approving of you. It is not dependent on other people's approval. Your own self-esteem revolves around, again, are your thoughts, your words, and your actions in sync? And are you feeling good about yourself? That's a powerful place to be. Next, let's talk about humor and lightheartedness and why that's important. In ancient Egypt, on a papyrus, it demonstrated the Last Judgment, and there was a scale. On one side, it had the human heart. On the other side, it had a peacock feather. And if the human heart was light as a peacock feather, it went to the heavens. If it was heavy, it would descend into the lower realms. Lightheartedness. And then we have the Tibetan Buddhists, who state that what distinguishes a human from an animal is not intelligence, but humor. It is so important to include humor in our lives and take ourselves lightly. Any way we can do that, to lighten up. It's good for the body, it's good for the spirit, it's good for the mind. Any opportunity you have to laugh, include it. Share the gaffes with your friends, your workmates. It just lightens and helps us to deal with change. And remember, you're never too old, it's never too late to explore new interests, which leads to abundance, inner and outer, finding your gifts and talents and expressing them.